We look at three different kinds of habits. One habit is what we've been talking about. And that is maybe I remember something. And when I get that bad memory, I start to take deep breaths and I move into hypocapnia. So the habit is there's a trigger, it's the memory. And then I take over the breathing because I feel somehow I get the air hunger when I have that memory. And I take these deeper breaths and I go into hypocapnia. And now I compromise my respiration. That's a type 1 habit, and that's really what we've been looking at. The type 2 habit is a very important thing to understand. You experience your breathing, like say you're breathing fast, and you feel it. Now, that experience of the fast breathing may trigger an emotion through learning. It may be a phobic response. When you breathe fast, you've entered a phobic place. So that when you breathe fast, you get fear from some bad experience you had previous in your life, okay, like any phobia develops. And it may trigger a thought, which is like, oh my God, I'm breathing so fast. This is no good. I'm breathing really shallow. That's bad. So I have these thoughts about how what I'm doing is a problem. And then there's an action that may trigger a behavior like I take over the breath and I slow it down deliberately. And I try to take larger breaths because I was breathing in such a shallow way. I now try to deepen my breath. So there's an emotion that's triggered. There are thoughts that are triggered. There may be memories that are triggered. There are actions that I may take when I experience myself breathing fast. The emotions may be troublesome. The emotion might be fear. It might be anger. It might be air hunger. And my thoughts are a problem. I'm thinking negatively. I'm thinking about how I'm out of control. I'm thinking about how I'm doing things incorrectly. And then I do things that get me into trouble. This is a type 2 problem because breathing fast there's nothing wrong with breathing fast. It may be that your respiration is right on the money. So you're breathing 20 breaths per minute, but your respiration isn't compromised at all. But the problem with the breathing is that the experience of it is triggering an emotion that's a problem, triggering a cognition that's a problem, triggering an action that's a problem. That's type 2. A type 3 habit is where there's a symptom that comes from the breathing, like you get dizzy, your feet feel numb, you start to sweat. There are different symptoms that occur. And now when you experience the symptom, it triggers an emotion through learning, or it triggers a thought, or it triggers a behavior that are problems. So, you may be hypocapnic, which is a problem because of a type 1 habit, but now you have an additional habit, which is where the symptoms themselves now trigger self-destructive thoughts, emotions that are getting in the way of things, and behaviors that you now engage in to try to deal with the symptom. It's one thing to get dizzy. It's another thing to feel like you're losing your mind because you're dizzy. So that learned behavior, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm really in trouble. This is terrible. All those learned responses are what make up a type 3 breathing habit.